Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually had a pretty big gaming conference that literally just came out as of today. It literally just ended about a few minutes ago, and I figured I'd want to go and try my best to save you guys all a bit of time because there actually was some pretty big, both PlayStation and Xbox announcements, and also a few other games we'll have a chance to go check it on PC and everything else. So we're going to put all this stuff all put together and going to try our best to, give you the big details. The number one biggest thing I think a lot of folks are excited for, and it also is a pretty long, pretty big gameplay trailer, is the brand new Assassin's Creed Mirage that was also officially announced in quite a few other various things. So I'm going to talk about this, give you guys my thoughts, and give you guys, and hopefully save you guys a little bit of time too as well. As well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Also, whoever Amazon links down below, Target links down below, Twitter and Twitch from down below, and of course, give me all of your thoughts and comments all throughout this as I'm slowly dying apparently. So let's go dive on into it. So, as you guys may or may not have heard, there actually was a really big Ubisoft forward going on. Now, Ubisoft isn't necessarily like the biggest big boy when it comes to games and content and everything, but it does have a few IPs that we're, well, been looking for, waiting for, watching for. So when it comes to this, we actually do have some more information on the Assassin's Creed brand new game, Assassin's Creed Mirage. There also was a few other things too as well, so we're going to do a quick run through on it, show you guys the trailer, and kind of go talk about it, because at the end of the day, it's actually kind of cool. So with this, we have the Ubisoft Forward, and this is kind of like we have just a nice live blog over this to kind of highlight and showcase up everything over here too a little bit more. So the one kind of big few games out here is on the Skull and Bones, which is coming out very, very soon. Mario and Rabbids Spark of Hope as well, which also did look pretty good. We could show you guys some of that gameplay. And obviously, the Assassin's Creed Mirage too as well. So very cool to go and see. We had some pretty big boys over here. So it also first and foremost had the Assassin's Creed Beyond, which I'll maybe just kind of show you guys this up in the background as we're kind of letting stuff play on out. Over here, where they have the Assassin's Creed Valhalla, will be getting its very final last DLC in 2022. So in case you guys are curious, that game still has been absolutely churning for God knows why. Been doing pretty well. So they'll be coming over here too just in the end of this year, while Assassin's Creed Mirage will be arriving in 2023. All the initial early leaks are kind of pushing it towards a more proper, imagine how the old school Assassin's Creed games were, more on like how Assassin's Creed 1, 2, or etc, etc. So they also did go and have the Assassin's Creed umbrella coming under and the name Code Name Jade, and they also will have a Netflix TV series too as well that will be arriving in the near future. So first and foremost, I've kind of been a big fan of all these gamings kind of coming out too, say Netflix, HBO, normal TV, movies as well. I like this vibe. I roll with this vibe in the first place. It's very, very, very nice. Like, I like the idea, like, a lot of these video games have already been established. They already have the lore, they already have the plot, they already have the characters, they already have, like, the settings and everything else out there, and a lot of the dialogue, too. So there's nothing wrong, I think, in my opinion, for them actually making games with it. They also did have Assassin's Creed Red go get announced. This is the game people have been waiting for, so basically this is Assassin's Creed in Japan. So, even the article says, if I'm being cynical, I say this finally happened due to the success of Ghost of Tsushima, which I would probably go and agree on that too as well. Ghost of Tsushima was very well made. The atmosphere, the area, the movie or TV shows that are being planned up for it are also being well received. It would make a lot of sense and was a bestseller. So a lot of people have been pushing for this. I would love an Assassin's Creed game in Japan. I would love it. So basically they are saying this will be a flagship Assassin's Creed game. So this will be a massive adventure on consoles and PC. Although I do not believe this is also with Assassin's Creed Mirage, somewhat completely different. But of course, as well, because it seems like this is the only IP that's been working for Ubisoft recently, a mobile game called Assassin's Creed Project Jade has also been announced. The game is set in ancient China, so very on an Asian flair so far for these games, and will feature everything the series is known for. Only optimized for mobile devices, and basically they're even saying this just reminds them of a smaller, side-scrolling Assassin's Creed game released a number of years ago. If anything, I'd probably maybe assume and put that towards the Genshin or Tower of Fantasy vibes too as well, because in theory, phones nowadays could and can utilize that, and could and can also enjoy it, so it kind of just depends on the vibe. Now, we also did have even more Assassin's Creed, like this is basically Assassin's Creed, the conference, where they have the nice little Valhalla with its brand new DLC called The Last Chapter. So the upcoming DLC seems ominous, and a lot of people are saying it should be the final expansion for the game, even though they want to have it be more of a live service game. Now, I do think they're going to be trying to push more live service on Mirage rather than Valhalla, because Valhalla's been out for a while. I'm sure the sales are slowing down. So the trailer didn't actually give a lot of information too as well, but that's fine. But the one big thing I think a lot of people, even us on our channel, have kind of leaked and discussed about was on Assassin's Creed Mirage. So sadly, we don't have a chance to see any gameplay, which I'll show you guys over here anyway, but hopefully this wait will be worth it. And I'm in that same exact boat too as well, where like, it looked good. I like the trailer. I think it did turn out nice, cool, and proper. Like, don't get me wrong. But there's only like so much you can kind of be hyped up for when it comes to CGI. Now, CGI itself is always nice, and like all the other previous Assassin's Creeds have had very obviously good CGI, but like gameplay is what matters. And you can give me a game that looks amazing like this, but if the game is just filled with a lot of empty NPCs, bad lore, too long of gameplay, repetitive RPG-ness, kind of how I thought a little bit with Valhalla was, then, well, obviously I'm not going to enjoy it. But I will say Assassin's Creed always does have very good CGI trailers, and it is something we like to go and see, especially when folks are kind of going and trying to steal some stuff, like some good old Aladdin things. But it does kind of have like it does kind of seem like the whole entire conference was very Assassin's Creed-esque, where, I mean, I don't know, they keep on wanting to push more towards the old routes and the old versions of the games. I stand by that. Like, I really do think those older versions of the games you have to, like, escape, do actually focus on parkour, jumping up and down up these, like this type of stuff, you know, back in the day, that was always cool. Like, I loved having a chance to go through, like, Italy and Rome and all these other cool places, and having friends and, like, doing cool, like, parkour and jumping around. That kind of made me feel like more of an Assassin's Creed type style game than anything else. Now, we had, like, Valhalla, and that was still a good game, don't get me wrong, like, I still enjoyed it, but it was really more focused on the RPG. A lot of the previous games are more focused on RPG, leveling your character, getting gear, etc. Well, this definitely seems like they keep on pushing, even how the leaks have been mentioning, pushing more on the, you know, old school style game. Like you can even see from the trailer, a lot more movement, a lot more jumping, a lot more maybe like proper lore, like more maybe antagonistic lore too as well, so like, you know, proper folks in there. Like, to me, I like this. I think this is cool. I think this is good content. I think it has some good potential going on throughout the game itself. Especially because like this, like these are the scenes I miss. These are like the areas I miss, and especially with them having Assassin's Creed potentially in Japan, this also opens up the window for a lot of other cool games. So I think so far, from my impressions, Assassin's Creed Mirage is, well, good. Like, I think it's actually very nifty and very cool. So I think that's very nice. Now, once again, CGI can mean a lot. Like, CGI can mean so much when it comes to a game in general. It's probably not going to look this good in game, although the last Assassin's Creed wasn't the world's worst game ever. We just have to hope that hopefully the Ubisoft engine is not janky and it's not like glitchy, and I don't know. But if you guys want to give your thoughts and comments as I'm rambling over this, feel free to let me go and know. But I have been excited, and it is kind of cool to get to see all this stuff in the first place. Like, at least in my opinion, I think it seems kind of nice and kind of cool as well. So kind of just like one of the bigger focus on here for Assassin's Creed Mirage, and as I mentioned, this should be coming out in 2023 with all the other DLCs coming out in the very near future. But I'm liking it. I'm excited if it goes back to the roots, because it really has kind of tapered off throughout the past few roots in general. I'm going to be a little bit more excited, at least for my opinion. As you guys can kind of go and see, it has a nice little hype over here, Assassin's Creed Mirage 2, and it does have the coming in 2023. So very excited for all of that, and hopefully it turns out good. Now, as well, like I said, this is trying to push more back on their roots. They did also have the Ubisoft CEO mention to us, I just kind of talk about Assassin's Creed as well. They did also announce up the new Just Dance 2023, with new art directors, user interfaces, and a few more things. If you guys have kids, daughters, or whatever, seems kind of cool. Trackmania is also coming to consoles, which I was surprised never was. This game is awesome. Definitely recommend it. Please go and check out Trackmania. They also have a new upcoming sneak on the Mythic Quest 2 as well, so they're just doing some random fun little shows on top of this. Skull and Bones 2 on top of this as well, with one of their more recent trailers. I'm still very skeptical on this game nonetheless. It doesn't necessarily seem bad at the end of the day. I mean, it doesn't seem good though too. I'm very torn on this. But this is coming out very soon as well. I'm excited. I'll probably end up playing it. If it just kind of reminds me a lot of like the Sea of Thieves type vibe, type style, I will probably enjoy it. I am hyped up for it, but the more I see, the more I'm kind of a little bit skeptical on it, but we have some potentials on this one too as well. They did also go and have the Mario and Rabbids Spark of Hope 2 on top of this. The game is coming exclusive to Nintendo Switch on October 20th, and it did turn out pretty good. If you guys kind of look through the gameplay and the art play style, I was never really the biggest fan of the Rabbids games too, but I would go and say, like, at least there's content, at least there's cool stuff. Like, I'd probably enjoy playing this game if I could. Not fully against it, but you guys can kind of see little glimpses and pieces of this. This is some of the menu AI, this is some of the gameplay right here. It's just kind of like an XCOM type style turn-based game, just with Mario, a little bit cuter. And, like, I still think the last one was pretty good. Like, I think it was pretty well received and a lot of folks liked it, so I'm not fully against it at all. But that is kind of, I think, the most major stuff when it came to the conference itself. Mainly was focused more on Assassin's Creed, Skull and Bones, and obviously this. At least we did have a lot of Assassin's Creed new stuff popping out throughout the games, but at the end of the day, I wish we could have had a few more. Now, there was a few little small things too, like The Division, getting more DLCs, although I would personally rather go and have a Division 3. I'm more of a bigger fan of newer games. Same with Destiny 3. They have a Brawlhalla 2 as well with the crossovers too. Riders Republic is getting a new season with new basically BMX add-ons too as well. And Skull and Bones 2, even though it's been delayed, is finally coming in the very near future. There was also a few little small things too as well, with some other, like, just, I guess, kind of big things floating around. They had like some new For Honor stuff too, new expansions coming out with that. But at the end of the day, I think the biggest news is probably more on the Assassin's Creed's news. So, those we have some cool news and some big stuff coming out for PlayStation, Xbox. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below, Twitter and Twitch stream down below, and Target links as well. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching in the first place.